And I am going to be recording this for the folks that are not able to join as well. Just wanted to give everybody a quick disclaimer.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you don't feel comfortable being on camera, I completely understand. But if you do feel comfortable, please do come on camera. All right. So I'll go ahead and start things off. I know we're at 7:05. I do want to be mindful of everybody's time. We have an hour for today's session, but I'll also give some time for any questions, comments, or insights. So at any time, if you have any questions or concerns, or you want to chime in or something, please feel free to either come off of mute or raise your hand, and I will be sure to answer your questions. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Nimi Bello. I am the founder and ecosystem builder here at Lincoln Power. But for today, we are going to be focusing heavily on the Lincoln Power Innovations consulting ecosystem, which I'm really, really excited to be launching this year. We actually spent the last 3 months from October to December in a pilot, and we'll probably have some of the consultants that were in the pilot join us on this call at some point and kind of share their experience too, so you can kind of hear from them and kind of get an understanding of how this is going to work. If you are interested in committing to the pilot. But before I get started with all of the information and all the exciting things that I know people have been looking forward to hearing more about, I did want to give a few minutes to see who is on the call. So if you could just let us know your name, um, a little bit about yourself, and then where you're calling from. And I'll just do popcorn style. Nikki, you can go first.
Sure. Hi, Nimi. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good, and hope everybody's doing good. So I'm Nikki, Nikki Babs. I am, geez, a lot of things. Let's just say I'm a career and executive coach slash consultant. And what I do is help women, especially immigrants and multicultural women, get to executive level in their professional careers. I'm located in Atlanta, Georgia.
Nice, nice, nice. Thank you for that. You want to hand it off to somebody else, Nikki?
I have Kanisha next on my screen.
Okay. Hi, Nikki. Hi, Nimi. Hi, everyone. So I'm Kenisha Samuels, and I am a Jamaican living in Atlanta, Georgia. I am currently doing immigration documentation. I'm also a notary public, and I am here for the pie. I'm here for the connection. I'm here to, gather all that I can to boost my business and to see who I can network with.
Nice. I think we have another Jamaican on the call.
Yeah, you sure do. Yeah, I can go ahead. So, hey everyone, happy Tuesday. My name is Shanique Williams, and yes, I am Jamaican. By day, I'm a project manager in the tech space, and by night, or should I say on the side, I'm a project management consultant. I have my own consultancy firm that provides project operations strategy to mission-driven organizations. And so I'm super excited to be here to kind of learn more about this program and very much network and build. I believe this season really calls for more collaboration for me. So not building alone, but building with like-minded people. So that was the main reason of me kind of attending this to see what this was about. And Mimi, really appreciate you kind of putting this together. This I think is going to be awesome. So, and I'm based in New York.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Who do you have next? Since we're going popcorn style, Shanique. Let's go with who hasn't gone yet? Let's go with Ganny. Ganny, you can go next.
Hey there, everyone. Good evening. My name is Gani Shitu. I'm the founder and lead stylist at Houses and Mirage. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. Honestly, my job is to just really help people, show up looking good, feeling their best. And I do that through wardrobe styling and consulting.
Nice. And Ganny was also in our pilot program in
Yes.
October as well. So good to have you.
Yes. And I'm going to throw that over to Bukola. Bukola.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Hey, Bookie.
Yeah, my name is Joshua Bukola, and I'm a website designer. So I use different platform in building my um, websites, and I have 4 years plus experience in building clean, functional, and user-friendly websites. So I'm based in Nigeria, and I work with clients locally and internationally to turn ideas into effective online platforms. So it's so nice to meet you.
Okay. Who else do we have on the call that hasn't done the intro yet? I think I see Phil.
I haven't gone.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead, Osa.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Osagwona Asemota. I go by Osa, and I'm the principal attorney and owner of the law offices of Osagwona Asemota, where I offer immigration and business law services, um, uh, focusing mainly on helping individuals with their green card process, and asylum process, and other humanitarian immigration issues. I also have a heavy focus on the entrepreneurship and the business law side, where I'm helping individuals, much like you yourselves, form businesses, create LLCs, corporations, file trademark registrations, copyright registrations. I also offer contract drafting, contract negotiations, and just about anything else you can think of concerning securing your business legal protections. I'm looking forward to learning more about LinkedIn Powers consulting services, connecting with other business-minded individuals, and seeing how we can network and grow our businesses together.
Nice, nice, nice. Thank you for that. Okay, who else do we have on the call? Phil, I think this is the last one.
Yes, sorry I'm late, but hello everyone. I'm Phil. I work at the intersection of consulting, AI, and operational systems, and had the pleasure of working with Nibi at the pilot cohort for Lincoln Power. But my focus is helping teams move from you know like good ideas to repeatable execution to simplify your workflows, reducing all the manual work and, just leveraging AI where it actually makes sense. And so, my role is just to support everyone in clarity. So to help you map what's happening, today, where you're finding friction and to design systems that make your, consulting work just easier, not more difficult. And so, we'll start, doing practical things and staying grounded and only, building what you can sustain. So
Yeah.
that's basically what I do.
Thank you so much for that. And thank you,
Mhm.
everyone, for all your lovely introductions. Because of what we do at Lincoln Power, I'm very, very intentional about knowing who is in the room. I heard a lot of great synergy in the introductions. Like, for example, I see a lot of synergy between Kanisha and Osa and reasons why they should be connecting. This is exactly why this space is being curated. For us to have those intentional conversations. The days of being a solopreneur and a all-in B1 is kind of out of the equation at this point. We are in a time, I think Shanique said it, that you don't want to build in isolation. That's exactly what the space is curated for. It's curated to be an ecosystem. So an ecosystem feeds itself. So we want to have a each one reach one mindset. And the goal for this is to provide a lot of clarity, systems, and align opportunities for individuals that want to be in the program. So I'll kind of go through my slides really quickly because it is going to be a lot of information. But again, I'm going to kind of scroll through this. The goal is not to bore you all with a whole bunch of information. If you worked with me in the past or you've been to anything, I'm pretty straight to the point. This is not a sales call. This is not for us to pitch it to you and try to convince you to do anything. This is just really an alignment discussion on, is this a good fit for me or not? So a little bit about how Lincoln Power is structured. So Lincoln Power is a multi-vertical ecosystem. We are a bridge between business, workforce, and community impact. So how we're set up is we have a LLC, which is Lincoln Power LLC, and then we also have the DBA, which is Lincoln Power Innovations. So for the sake of this conversation, when it comes to our consulting, our ecosystem conversation for tonight, you are going to hear me say things like Lincoln Power Innovations or LEI. It's the same exact thing. So just kind of wanted to clarify that. And then on the other arm, we also have our foundation, which is hyper focused on workforce development and early stage support for individuals that are early in their career or new in entrepreneurship. So that's exactly what that space is for. And ever so often, we probably have curated events that supports either the LLC side or the foundation. So kind of just wanted to give a clear picture of how we're set up. Does anybody have any questions about the structure of Lincoln Power and our positioning before I move on?
No.
All right. So why does Lincoln Power Innovations exist? So I know for me personally, I can share a little bit about my background. I'm not going to go too in depth because if you're like, hey, I really want to know more about her background and how she got started, there's nimibello.com, there's my LinkedIn, and it kind of goes through my professional profile. But I did spend a little bit of time in consulting. Right before I got laid off, I was managing a $30 million project. So I have been in a consulting space and I've kind of seen what has worked and what doesn't work. So part of me building this out was last year I did spend some time investing in myself doing a government contracting cohort. So when I took that 18-week class, what I learned is not that people are not experienced or they don't know what they're doing, they just lack clarity. Most people don't know how to articulate their value proposition. They don't know how to say, hey, here's a problem that I'm solving, and here's a value that I provide to the customer. Because at the end of the day, if you are a consultant, you're solving a problem, and you have to be able to be clear on what problem are you solving. Now, what most consultants are doing is they have strong experience, they have a strong experience, they have strong background, they have hands-on experience. They've either worked for one of the big fives, like I have, and right now we're in a really, really interesting market. I was actually reading an article this earlier this morning, and it was talking about how we have transitioned out of the cookie cutter big organization. They're the only ones that can solve the problem to businesses are actually looking at smaller organizations for opportunities now. Example, government agencies, nonprofits, the list goes on and on. So the opportunity pool for individuals that are consultants right now, this is a good time for you to be a consultant. But what's happening is systems, partnership mindset, and a pathway is not really clear on how you're going to scale. Because anybody that's a consultant typically functions as multi-layers, and you don't want to do that. You're just gonna burn out. You can't only just be the marketer. You can't be the person doing the admin. You can't be the person doing the research all in one. That is a lot of overhead. So this space is existent because we want to help you to build your capacity in a nutshell. So if you have a niche or a specialty, we want you to bring that here. This is a space for you to really, really own in and zone in on your areas of expertise, because that is what we're looking for in this space. We want you to be able to articulate who you serve. We want you to also be able to identify and clarify what problems do you solve. And then also delivery and quality is going to be a priority in this ecosystem. Any questions? I know I'm going through a lot of information, so feel free to chime in or pause me wherever needed. All right. So just to be very, very clear, yes, there is going to be a knowledge sharing opportunity, but this is not a coaching program. Just want to make that really clear. We're not here to say, hey, this is what you got. We're gonna share information. We want you to make mistakes. We want you to ask questions, but we're not going to hold your hand. We want you to have a business-minded focus. We want you to look at this as, hey, this is going to help me to build out my capacity. This is going to help me to lead to other partnerships. This is going to help me with long-term positioning because, again, if you look at what's going on with the economy, everybody right now is looking for how to generate revenue. And this is also not a get rich quick program. This is not, oh, in 3 months, you're going to be out here with six figures. This is not that. So just wanted to really, really clarify that this is a consulting ecosystem designed to provide support to people that are trying to scale their businesses. So just wanted to make sure that that is very, very clear and what this is not. So it is an infrastructure to help you to build your capacity, and it's not coaching. So I want to get into a little bit about why most consultants stay stuck. So common patterns that we've been seeing is, I mentioned earlier, there's a strong expertise that there's weak infrastructure. There's inconsistent deal flows. Again, we talked about value proposition. If I was to say, hey, Kanisha, can you tell me what is your value proposition? What problem do you solve? Most people, believe it or not, can't tell you that in a minute. We're going to be here all night. You're probably going to tell me five different things. And your customer, unfortunately, doesn't understand that language. Your customer understands simplicity and simplifying what you do and how you do it. That's what they care about. So in this space, we want to make sure that we're reducing burnout. We want you to be hyper focused on where your strengths and what makes you thrive and what you're naturally good at. So that's what this space is. So the issue isn't about, oh, folks aren't talented or you don't have the experience. It's literally just an absence of structure and ecosystem support, which is what we are going to be providing in this space. Questions, comments? I see we have some new folks that just joined. Hey, Boob and me. Hey, Sokari. Thanks for joining. All righty. So the LEI ecosystem model, how we basically operate is the consulting ecosystem is built around a couple of things. Obviously, we're going to have shared systems and standards because, again, we want to build quality consultants and quality partnerships. Lincoln Power has been in existence now for this is going on year 6. So we've done a really good job of building our capabilities, our relationships. We have a lot of trust from different clients that we serve, and we want to continue that. So as we continue to widen the capacity of this space, one thing that we want to ensure is partnership-driven delivery. That's really, really essential. We want to see you all on this call partner and collaborate and connect with one another. And then we also want long-term participation, not short-term extraction. This is not a transactional space. If that's the energy that you're on, this is not the space for it. We really, really want you to have a mindset of collaboration over competition. If you have an opportunity that you may not be a good fit for, share it. Somebody else in the ecosystem could benefit from it. But I do want to kind of get folks that have been on the consulting pilot to kind of speak a little bit to their experience. So I think I see Gani on the call. I'm going to pause really quickly. And Gani or Phil, are you guys there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. Can you share a little bit about your experience in the 8-week consulting
I'm
pilot?
sorry, I couldn't get
You're
my
good. You're
my
good. You're
hand
good.
off.
You're good. You're
Sorry.
good. I'm gonna let
Oh,
Phil go. Then we'll
yeah,
start
go ahead.
with you. That's good. You're good.
Excuse me. Yes. So yes, what Nimi has shared, coming into, this program, it's really an ecosystem. You know, you'll come into this having your level of expertise that other people would find insight in and would help, within their business or their practice. And in turn, you'll also, receive valuable information as well. And, another thing that I would point out is, you know, participating in this program, um, it's only gonna benefit you in the long run because you know when you go through the program, when you go through the modules, these are experts in their respective fields, and the insights, the information, the frameworks, pretty much everything that they've done and who they've interfaced with in terms of their clients, like this is stuff that people pay top dollar for. And so when you go through the modules, I'll just encourage you all to, just be really engaged, to take really good notes because it's only going to help you. So if you come in with that, mindset and also, the mindset of sharing your information, like Mimi said, it's just an ecosystem where, each one just feeds one and you helping somebody is only going to help you in the long run. So as long as you have that attitude and going into it, promise you you're going to enjoy the program by the end of
Yeah.
the 6 weeks or however many weeks it
No,
is.
it's so this so it's
This one's going to be
I'm glad that you said that. This is going to be a 1 year membership.
1 year. Yes, the
And the
first
one
one
year
was a
membership,
couple
yeah.
weeks.
Yeah, the one that y'all went through, that was a boot camp
Right,
style.
right, right.
That was a jump in on the deep end without a life jacket. But we did that
Mhm.
because we wanted to see if people were committed. And then we also wanted to understand what are the pain points. So a lot of the
Mhm.
things that we were doing for those 8 weeks was to understand and to identify where are people struggling? What are people looking for when it comes to value? And I think one of the biggest things that we saw that was a value add was the accountability partner. And I see coincidentally your accountability partner is on this call, which is
Right.
Gani. So I think Gani, if you can share a little bit about what this space one did for your business, and then two, what did your partnership with Phil look like as well, just to kind of paint a realistic picture for folks that were not in the pilot.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. As I introduced myself before, my name is Gani. And it's so funny that Phil is the one on the call from our consulting program that we did a few weeks ago. I will say, being an entrepreneur, I think is important to always have somebody in your space who can, keep you accountable and you also can do the same for them. I think for some of us that have been in like a 9 to 5 working environment. You kind of have your coworkers there. You have someone who is, reaching out to you, maybe your supervisor, holding you accountable for, your performance or whatever it is. I always say that the entrepreneurial world can be a lonely, cold world. And sometimes you find yourself motivating yourself. If you don't motivate yourself, no one else will. Um, Phil and and I think Nimi was, a great resource to kind of putting Phil and I together and making each other accountability partners because she was intentional about seeing what I needed and what an area that I, had challenges in, and same with Phil from her just listening and you just speaking with her. And I think that's a gift that she has. So if anything, just even knowing her and being in this space, you will gain a lot of knowledge, even more knowledge than you think that you'll probably get. um, Phil shared that he is the AI king. That's what I call him. And I literally just texted him. I was like, "Don't forget me." Make sure you make calendar because I that was something that I needed for my business where I need to ensure that the systems, behind the scenes are put together and it's seamless. And I was thinking about that. He said something, you have to think about the future. For me, yes, I'm a small business now, but I know because that's the work that I'm putting in that my business is going to grow. I'm trying to scale my business. So all the seeds that I'm planting right now is for me to eventually get to a space where I can say, oh, wow, I've seen where I've come. I've now, been able to really accomplish a lot that I've wanted to accomplish for my business. And there's always going to be something that you want to reach to. But if you don't get this back end or if you don't get your foundation strong, it's just going to become more of an issue later. And then also having people, this ecosystem, Like she said, this is for a year. I mean, we did this every week for 8 weeks.
8 weeks. Yep. 8 weeks.
I mean, what you put into it is what you're gonna get out. And
Yeah.
what I really wanted to start by saying is that it's a mindset. Like you really have to be in a space where you're ready to say, I'm serious about what I'm doing as an entrepreneur. I want to scale, and how can I do this in a way that I'm going to be successful? I've been in business for about 8 years now, and I felt like I was doing the same thing over and over again. And clearly, it wasn't. I'm not gonna say I didn't have wins, but I felt like I could have had way more, wins if I was intentional about doing things. If I was, if I had clarity, you know what I'm saying? Like if I knew what I wanted to do and what my goals were, because as an entrepreneur, we're the talent. We just have a passion about something. We don't really have like a roadmap, if that makes sense. And so having that roadmap from the early stages will really set you up for success. So I think at the end of the day, it has to be a mindset. It can't be, oh well, I'm not getting what I need to get out of this. It really has to be you ready to receive the information and ready to be uncomfortable.
Thank you for that. Thank you. Kanisha, you had a question or you wanted to add something? Any questions, comments, feedback for either Gani or Phil?
No, I don't have any questions yet.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you. Okay, I will keep it moving. So, this is a really, really important slide here. So, this kind of goes over our core ecosystem pillars. So, you're wondering, like, wow, a year, since that seems like a long time. It's actually not, because in a year, one thing that we're going to be talking about throughout this duration of the membership is identity and positioning, which I talked a little bit about. Clearly understanding what is your value proposition, defining how you operate within a broader ecosystem is really, really important, because when you're servicing clients, you want to be able to understand that, okay, this is the value I'm providing to the client. Got it. And then infrastructure and systems, that also takes time. There's going to be shared workflows, documentation, reduce guesswork and burnout. And then a partnership and opportunity pathways. This is where the real work gets started. But I mentioned earlier that Q1, this is more of like a probationary period. In Q1, we're not looking for you to have clients that you're servicing. We want you to spend time articulating and crafting out what is your value proposition. A lot of people don't know how to articulate this, so we're going to definitely spend time through different modules. We'll have different partners in our ecosystem that's going to be speaking to you all about different things. And in particular, and the last thing is visibility and credibility. So our ecosystem operates off of these four pillars specifically. Again, it's identity and positioning, infrastructure and systems, partnership and opportunity pathways, and then visibility and credibility. Does anybody have any questions about this slide here in particular? All right.
No.
Okay. And then more importantly, if you're interested to know what are our service offerings at Lincoln Power, we do have those on the website. But again, it's 6 areas that we support. But as we continue to grow this ecosystem, we're definitely going to have to expand. We may have people in healthcare, people in GovTech, whatever the case is. We definitely want to have a breadth and depth of different experiences. So I love that. I think I heard that we have people in immigration law. We have people that are in project management. We have people that are in fashion. So as the more the ecosystem continues to grow, this is kind of the overall picture, and the vision is to have different people that can provide different services, not only in government agencies, but also to small businesses, because we have a pretty diverse pool of clients that come to us for different things. One of the biggest things that we're seeing right now is small businesses that are struggling with adopting to AI. In conversations like that, it's really easy. We just go to Phil. We go to Phil to start the conversation. If it's something that has to require a little bit more in depth, like let's say we're going after a government contract and opportunity, and we may need several different experiences and background, that is where we will have an active directory of the different consultants that are going to be in the ecosystem to pull from those resources. So again, The whole premise of this space is to have a each one reach one, that where there's an opportunity, please share them. If you even have opportunities of your own, bring them into the conversation. Don't be a gatekeeper. This space really, really wants us to thrive with information sharing because that's the only way we're going to grow. All right, so what participation looks like? We definitely want you to engage. The more you engage, the more you get out of this. This is really going to be a transformational experience. Participation is definitely intentional. We want to be collaborative, and then we also want you to go into Google Classroom, follow the modules. If there's an assignment, if there's something that you have to follow up on, this is going to be an equal effort for you. You're also expected to show up consistently. Again, this is where the accountability partner piece comes into play. If you are not able to make any of the calls for whatever reason, this is where you can utilize your accountability partner to ensure that you check in with them offline. We're literally going to operate this space as you are a consultant. Even if you've never worked as a consultant before, the illusion is going to be created for you that, hey, if you were to service a client, we really give you all the tools and the resources that you need to be able to feel confident and comfortable to go after opportunities so that you are set up for success. And then we also want you to build healthy relationships, not just extract opportunities. Don't just come here and be like, you know what? I'm just going to be here. Whenever there's an opportunity, then I'm going to chime in. It's not really going to help you to grow. So the more you pour in, the more you get out of this. Any questions about this slide before I move on? Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the membership benefits. So we are going to have several things happening for the duration of the year. I know you're probably like, wow, 1 year membership, what does that cover? I'm glad you asked. So for the year, we are going to have opportunities for either virtual meetups or in-person meetups. We'll start to expand this, but one of the things that we were hyper focusing on is being able to provide things like business strategy and operational labs. We'll have, again, I mentioned about the shared systems, workflows, documentation. We'll have contracting and partnership opportunities. And then the AI integration and automation support, that's been a really, really big one that we've been getting from a lot of businesses and just from conversation on what needs are. Branding, marketing, visibility accelerator. We'll have opportunities where we will feature consultants on our social platforms just to kind of give you a little bit more exposure. And we are going to have a community hub plus consultant ecosystem. So again, everybody who is either a partner or a consultant in the ecosystem will have access to all of this information. And then we'll talk about financial strategy, funding readiness, to the whole list. So one of the things that we wanted to be really transparent about is this is not a prescriptive space. We are going to hear from you and then we'll make adjustments. So if something is not working, we're definitely going to pivot if necessary. But a lot of our partners that are involved are really, really excited to also pour and to share. So if you're like, hey, I have information that I would love to share, please let us know. We can also get that scheduled so that you can also advertise your expertise and what your business has to offer in this space. Questions, comments about this slide? All right, so next steps for anyone that is interested in joining the ecosystem, obviously we want you to apply. You have to submit an application through the website, and this helps us to let us know if you are good fit or not. Because we understand that not everyone may be aligned to what we are promoting for this ecosystem, and that's completely fine. But there's other ways for you to collaborate and to partner with Link Power. So if you don't get into the ecosystem, don't feel bad. It's no harm, no foul. It's just that maybe you just didn't align. But please, if you are like, hey, I'm aligned with this, I would love to be a part of this ecosystem. The application is on our website. I think we do have it up until tomorrow. I will try to see if we need to extend that just from hearing feedback from you all after we get to the Q&A. And then we are going to we're going to review and then we're going to commit. We want you to review all the information fully, please, before moving forward, because we want you to have clarity before you make a commitment, because we understand that this is going to be a commitment of your time and your resources. And then confirmation and onboarding. So if you're accepted, you'll receive a confirmation. You'll get onboarding instructions, and then you have access to ecosystem tools and community spaces. And then the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to have a kickoff call towards the end of this month. This is just to give you time to readjust your schedules. But Q1 is a lot of foundational work. This is where we're going to spend time discussing expectations, the cadence, and then beginning the foundational phase of the ecosystem. Are there any questions? But Q1, I just wanted to clarify, is going to be hyper focused on foundational. This is where we're going to be talking about your value proposition. We're going to even look at the structure of your business because some people don't know if do I need to be an LLC? Are you already registered? All those things, we're going to kind of iron out those kinks before we kind of get into the nitty gritty. So, any questions there on next steps?
Hey, Mimi.
No.
Yes.
I have a question. So just to clarify, remember when reading this, it said something about 3-month program with a 1-year membership. Could you
Yes.
clarify what that means?
Yes, that's a good question. So the 3 months that you were seeing is specifically foundational learning is going to be included in that. So the Q1 is where we're going to kind of have the Google Classroom, the modules. Once we get into the kickoff call, we'll kind of talk a little bit about cadence on how often do you all want to meet? When do you all want to meet? Because that's the part that we can kind of hold everybody accountable and to start kind of understanding what are your needs? Is it crafting like a value proposition? Is it understanding what clients you want to service? Just so kind of really just understanding how do you want your business to be positioned. We'll spend time kind of going that. And then occasionally what will happen is we will also have some of our partners come in to give a presentation as well on specific topics. And then we'll also have, so Q1 will look like kickoff. That'll happen on the 27th. Then after that, we are going to have a weekly check-in, and then after that's going to switch to bi-weekly. So bi-weekly will switch probably over in March, and that's going to be when you have an accountability partner. So then it's going to be less meetings, and then you're now required to now meet with your accountability partner one-off. So there's not going to be any client work in Q1 per se because we want to focus on the foundation of the business. So I hope that kind of clarifies your question.
It does. Thank you.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What if you have more than one businesses?
Okay.
More than one business, sorry.
Mm-hmm. How many businesses are you trying to revamp or reformat?
Well, I came with the intention of doing one,
Okay.
but I have two LLCs
Mm-hmm.
separate from the business that,
Mm-hmm.
my immigration documentation business.
Okay.
So I'm just asking, would you service all three if possible or just one?
So that may have to be a thing that we have to probably discuss offline, because I also do consultations with clients
Mhm.
offline. So if that's like a special need where we have to talk offline, then we can definitely talk about that. But
Okay.
again, this is just going to be another firm reminder. We want you to gain clarity here. The whole premise of this is not to give you additional work or overwhelm. So I would just recommend, just from hearing what you're saying, is let's think about what is your priority for 2026 at a high level.
Mhm.
What are you trying to achieve? Is it your infrastructure? Is it how you do business? Is it how you articulate? Or what problem are you solving? So I think this is exactly part of the reason why we start off the ecosystem and the program in that format of understanding the foundationals, because we don't want to assume. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Mhm.
I need a little bit more clarity around the maybe the objectives
Mhm.
for, so you talk about the different quarters, right? So from my
Yeah.
understanding, we're meeting weekly for the first quarter to
Mhm.
discuss foundations of business infrastructure, making
Yeah.
sure
So it's
everybody,
going to be a combination. Sorry to chime in.
okay,
Yeah.
no,
So in Q1, month one, which probably be February, that would just be weekly check-ins because we want to build that muscle. Because accountability and consistency is going to be required. So every week when we meet, there's going to be something that we're focusing on covering. Then bi-weekly will now reduce from weekly to bi-weekly in March. Because at that point, you're already in a cadence. And then in March, you would also have a accountability partner assigned to you. So now you're not only just meeting bi-weekly, but you now have an additional person that you can talk to offline that is a good fit for the value add that you're looking for. Like for example, Ganny and Phil were a good fit because Ganny is in the fashion space. Phil is in the AI space. Ganny's needs were operational support. Phil is just starting up in his business. So for him, it's, oh, working with a Ganny is letting me to understand what are some other pain points other clients may be needing as I continue to grow my business in this space.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So in terms of objectives, I understand cadence now. So in terms of objectives, I'm just thinking through it from a logistics perspective and
Mhm.
like what those sessions will look like. Say, for
Yeah.
instance, we meet the first time. Is
Mhm.
this going to be primarily presentations? You talked about a classroom. Is it primarily going to be knowledge sharing, or is it
It's going to be a
like,
combination of the two.
okay,
So one thing that I will say, debunk everything that you learn in corporate. We're not going to operate this as you're working a 9 to 5 because you have a business to run. Our goal is not to just put up cute presentations and PowerPoints. That barely does anything. We want you to get practical learnings and understanding. So you will hear from people that also have their businesses, their pain points, they've gone through their experiences. So literally, this whole thing that you're seeing here was built from my frustration as a business owner to who transitioned from working a 9 to 5. Because when I worked a 9 to 5, nobody told me that there's a mental switch that you have to turn on to understand that, hey, I have to kind of manage my books. I have to have systems and processes and different things to manage my clients. Your clients don't need to understand the ins and outs of different of how you do what you do. They just want your time. So this space is for you to have that clarity and understanding of what kind of clients do you want to service. Like for me personally speaking, I don't want to service all clients. But it took me some time to understand that because before I was servicing everyone. I was giving my time to a different businesses. I was all over the place. But now in this space that I'm in now, I can tell you confidently who I want to service and who I don't want to service. So that's kind of where we want you to get to as you kind of go through this program.
okay. And
Yep.
then for the rest of the year, so if foundations after the
Mhm.
first quarter, you're meeting, is there like what's the word I'm looking for? Like I'm just wondering if there are specific goals like for
Mhm.
each quarter
Yeah.
that you have in
And we'll
mind
and
and like
we'll talk about that. We'll talk more
okay.
about that when we because I think the biggest thing is one, we're not trying to sell anything to anybody. All the information is on the website. It's a little bit more detail to kind of just give you a high level, but we haven't built anything out day by day just yet because we haven't heard, hey, when we meet on the 27th, I want to meet on Tuesday. When we start going through that, then we can kind of build it out. Right now, we just have high level focus on just what we're going to be focusing on. So if you go back to this slide right here, for the duration of the year in the membership, we're going to be focusing on these 4 pillars. How that's going to be broken down as far as logistics, we don't have that just yet because we don't know how many people we're going to have in the program just yet. Once we
Hmm.
have that kickoff call on the 27th, that's where we're going to kind of go into logistics a little bit more in depth.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
But that's a
Okay.
good question. Really good question.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any questions, comments, concerns?
I have one more question.
Okay.
Is this catered to um consultants who are still working a 9 to 5 and while also building their consultancy? I think that
Absolutely. I think it's a combination because most people that are doing consulting work already have some level of expertise. For example, there are people that have been in the project management space for 4 or 5 years. They may not necessarily be calling themselves a consultant, but in a way, they have a certain level of expertise that they're trying to either monetize or they want to have more visibility around, or they're trying to see how can I even turn this into a business. There's also that. I think Phil is probably a really good case study. Phil, as of the last time he was in the consulting pilot, and Phil, you can speak to this. Have you registered your business yet or not?
I have.
You have. Oh,
Yeah.
great. Well,
I thought I
congratulations.
told you.
No, you didn't.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
congratulations.
Thank you. I mean,
So
it's
yeah,
yeah.
that's a big deal. That's a big deal. Y'all go ahead and drop some emojis, clap everything for him. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Well,
Yeah.
So when Phil was in the pilot program, he had not yet registered his business just yet. And I'm saying this because there will be people that may or may not have an LLC just yet that are like, hey, I don't have my LLC just yet. That is something that we can definitely support you with while you're in the program. So I hope Shanita kind of answers your question. Or if you're like, hey, I'm in the beginning phase of my business, I don't have any systems yet, but I have 10 years experience in doing XYZ. Go ahead, Osa.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Um, Nimi, maybe you can answer, or anyone that was
Yeah.
in the pilot program. I know that it was a little bit different because it was short and both.
Yes.
Are you projecting the time investment to be? I know you said weekly and bi-weekly, but
Mhm.
even like per like, is it once a week or what do you
Yes. So when we get into the call on the 27th, we're gonna go through the cadence and logistics. So once a week is going to be the Q1 situation for the month of February. Then for March, we're now going to move into bi-weekly. So for the whole year, just to be clear, we're not expecting you to meet once a week or bi-weekly for the whole year. No. Because at the end of the day, you have a business to service. Because if you remember, when we were going through some of the information. Let me go back to my slides. So infrastructure, revenue, all of that. So by the time you get into like Q2, Q3, the assumption is you have clients you need to focus on, but you're still going to have access to the ecosystem. Doesn't mean that, hey, if OSA is hosting a virtual session, you let us know so we can support you. If OSA is like, hey, I have some information that I would love to share to the ecosystem about law and business 101, we can definitely slot those things in. So we didn't really build out the schedule to the T just yet because I know that for what I envision to happen is once a quarter, we're definitely going to have a meetup, whether that's virtual or in person. That's definitely going to be something that we do at the end of each quarter. It's going to be an in-person meetup just to kind of keep the engagement and relationships going. The other side of this is that you may say, hey, I want to share information to the ecosystem by XYZ. So as we get through Q1, I think it's going to help us to identify what are people needing us to focus more on. We didn't want to build this to be prescriptive because that's the feedback that we got. People love that we didn't really bake everything out and say, hey, step one, step two, this is what's going to happen. We left it a little bit open so that we can have those organic things that come up and like, hey, I need more webinars. I want more consultants to be featured, or I have things I want to present to the ecosystem. So we also wanted to leave a little bit of room for that. So I hope that kind of helps to clarify some of your questions.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
thank you.
yeah, so Q1 is what I can confidently tell you that, hey, we have somewhat of a schedule, but we also want to be respectful of when are people going to be available to actually join the weekly calls and the bi-weekly calls. But that's not going to be final until we get into the 27th when we have the kickoff.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
In thinking futuristic, what
Mhm.
happens after the 1 year membership? Is this renewable? Like, what does
Yeah.
that look like after you finish?
So it is going to be renewable. That's a really good question. Based off of, I think, your first question about the different layers. Are we going to have people that are, hey, I'm a foundational member, I'm at scale, I'm thinking, this, whatever. So in my mind, it's probably going to expand into those areas because we may have 20 consultants, 30 consultants. It's going to keep on growing year over year. But my overall goal as a visionary is to empower 100 consultants in 5 years. That's what my goal is. However, we do that, whether that's in different tiers or different models, I'm open to the idea. But right now, I think my biggest goal is how do we at least get individuals to get the value that people receive in 8 weeks for a whole year? That's one of my biggest goals. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good questions. Any more questions? So there is about 5 more minutes left. This is how you can get in contact with us if for whatever reason you have any more questions. But if you go on the website, and I will pull it up here for you all as well. Let me pull it up. And we are going to share this to the folks that joined and the folks that missed it, just to kind of play catch up for the folks that need it. So on the website, you will see a couple of things here. So it's pretty straight to the point. If you hit apply today, it takes you to the application. And the application is pretty, I think, less than 5 minutes for you to fill it out. Once you fill it out, we will definitely be in contact with you. Like, as I mentioned, we are going to be reviewing if folks are a good fit or not, which is why we have a late start. And then we also wanted to give people time to kind of make adjustments where needed. And then just to also mentally prepare yourself for the commitment level that you're going to have to give, at least for Q1, because Q1 is going to be really, really foundational. We'll have a couple of, again, our partners that will be joining and also contributing as well. If you're like, hey, I would love to also contribute, please, by any means necessary. Once you're in the ecosystem, you also have those benefits to also contribute as well. And it's a good way for you to advertise your services. I think the last time Phil did his presentation, I think we talked about having some kind of, I think, AI audit assessment. Is that correct, Phil? For clients?
Yes, yes, I'm still available.
Yeah. And most people that are going to be in the ecosystem, you also have a lot of benefits. So people like Phil, if you're like, hey, I needed to talk to you about XYZ, on a normal day, it's probably going to cost you a fee. But because you're in the ecosystem, you have access to asking those kind of questions, getting those kind of time, or even getting discounted access for things. I know for me, my consulting fees have gone up this year, but if you're like, hey, Neem, I need to meet with you for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, I am also going to be offering different things to you all as we kind of go through this process. If you're like, hey, I need to talk a little bit more in depth about, my business structure or how things are formatted, or this is not really clear on things I need a one-on-one time, there's also going to be opportunities for that as well. So everything is on here that we pretty much talked about, and everything is laid out here. And then we have the key dates. So right now we've already had the ecosystem info session, which is what we're doing now. And then after that, we will allow for the alignment process and then the intake window to continue. And then we are now going to do the kickoff on the 27th. And that is pretty much it. And membership is $750 for the year, in case you're wondering the price. All right. We got 2 more minutes. Any more questions?
So when we decide to apply, when will we hear back whether we were accepted or not into the program?
Yeah. So you should probably get a response back by probably sometime next week. You probably know.
Okay.
Yep.
And then after we're accepted, then we make the investment.
Yep.
Okay.
You go through. So I think everything is literally like in the form. It's pretty straight to the point. You can also, I think that we also have different payment options too within the form.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
No problem. All right, we have a minute left. So whatever questions you have now, speak now. Forever hold your peace. Is everyone excited about the cohort?
I am. I
I'm
am very excited.
I'm excited for y'all. It's gonna be good. I see a lot of great individuals with different expertise here. So I really would love to partner with you all and to collaborate with you all. So I'm looking forward to having y'all in the ecosystem.
Looking forward to sharing with you all too. So
Yes,
Thank you so much,
just
Nimi.
waiting on the next step.
Thank you,
no
Nemi.
problem. No problem. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Bye.